exciting forms in the years ahead.
Discovering alien life. It's the holy grail of space exploration. Well, NASA's chief scientist Ellen Stofan says that such a finding is not that far off. She expects that we'll find indications of life within the next decade, and definitive evidence within the next 30 years.
Within all of our lifetime, though, we're going to understand that there is life on other bodies in the solar system. We're on the verge of things that people have wondered about for millennia. Are we alone?
Why the burst of optimism? Water. Water is a key ingredient in life as we know it. And scientists say if you find water, your odds of finding life go up. And it turns out our galaxy is a soggy place. Outside of our solar system, astronomers think there may be many worlds covered by deep oceans. So NASA says our galaxy and our solar system are awash in water, and it's just a matter of time until we find life on another planet. But don't expect little green men.
A stranger from the outside.
NASA says expect little green microbes.
Well, this is something you don't expect when you try out for crew. A rowing team was making its way across a lake in Missouri when something fishy started happening. Asian carp, by the dozens if not the hundreds, started flinging themselves up and around the athletes. The flying fish are known to cause cuts and worse injuries to boaters, but the iReporter who got this video said no one was seriously hurt. So what's not to like? We wouldn't say everything turned out rosy when the rowers row a rose with Hatch Row, but when you fished out your camera for your very own fin club, you just gotta press row cord and carp and I'm Carpal Azus for CNN Student News.
Alright, start with these notes real quick. Try to get the whole chapter done in one sitting. If you were absent yesterday, we did vocabulary, chapter 11, so you might want to work on that while we're doing notes. Questions? Alright, so like I said yesterday, basically we went over the structure of Congress. Last chapter was chapter 10. Chapter 11 is powers that Congress has, and then chapter 12 will be how Congress uses those powers, primarily making bills, laws. Some of these words you'll recognize. All right, congressional power. We've talked about this vocabulary before, haven't we? Mm-hmm. The Constitution gives Congress power three ways. It really gives any branch power three ways. They have express powers. That means it's written explicitly in the Constitution. Implied powers are granted by reasonable deduction. What's that reasonable deduction? What clause in the Constitution gives implied powers? Congress has all powers for the running of the country. We have ever talked about that? Huh? Trying to the word that gives the implied powers. What clause in the Constitution is that? Yeah, we have never talked about that in here?
No, we have. But
we have talked about necessary and proper?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, I think we have, but maybe I'm crazy, because I teach this class every semester. Alright, so necessary and proper, and I know how y'all like to use it slang, so that's AKA the elastic clause. It's the same. You hear them, they're interchangeable. I know we talked about that. Alright, and then inherent or granted through because its powers typically given to a national government throughout the world. Those are inherent powers. Alright. Strict constructionists versus liberal constructionists. That is how people interpret the Constitution. So the strict constructionists, we call them anti-federalists. They were in favor of a smaller national government. They were led by Thomas Jefferson. And they argue Congress should only exercise its express powers and only implied powers absolutely necessary. So they're trying, strict constructionist is in favor of less central power, more power to the states. So it means less elastic clause, necessary, proper, whatever. Liberal constructionists were also known as the Federalists, and they were the ones who wanted to expand national government power. Alexander Hamilton was their leader. And liberal interpretation means they're just stretching out what the Constitution says it means. So as we sit here, would you say from the time of 1789 until today, who've won more, strict constructionists or liberal constructionists?
Strict.
What do you think, Taylor?
Strict construction.
Why?
Like, they were basically, like, the liberals were the Federalists, and they were the early Republicans, and then about, like, the 1900s they switched. So the Democrats were the liberal constructionists, and the Republicans were strict constructionists.
Okay. So why do you say Strict's won? What do you see today that makes you believe Strict has won, besides what party's in power? No, I like the way you're thinking. That's very good insight. What you said was almost exactly accurate. I only argue one place of what you said, one part of what you said. All right, let me ask you this way. Has the national government increased power or decreased power since 1789? So Taylor, that's why I would say liberal constructionists have won out, because national power has increased. And next thing on what you're talking about, Taylor, you said they switched halfway through. I would say they didn't switch so much as there was somebody that was more liberal than the liberals. You know what I mean? That would be my argument against what you said, but I thought that was excellent insight on understanding how that works. I told you this was going to go fast. Which powers are granted to Congress? Which one of those is not granted to Congress? Yeah, no monarchical powers. And what does strict constructionist favor? Congress exercising what? Thank you, Frantoni.